How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Double Trouble Fishing. I'm sure you clicked on this video for a reason, and that's probably because it's summer or it's hot out and you're not getting any bites. Well, in this one, I'm gonna be giving you my secret bait. Now, down here in Florida, the heat index is in the triple digits pretty much every single day, except for in the winter, but spring, summer, it's hot. And through all that trial and error, I have definitely found my favorite bait. The number one bait I'm going with in the summer is a creature bait. And this can be rigged a bunch of different ways depending on what scenario you're throwing it. But I'm gonna be going over the best ways to fish a creature bait in the heat so you can get more bites. Now, as you can see, it's raining out here. But I already have some footage of me catching them under the sun. Dude, I actually, you know what's funny is it ate it on the way up. I was reeling it out of the water and it ate it. So this is actually perfect because I'll be able to show you guys how it works under the direct sun and also the humid, muggy heat if you're down here in the southern states. So without further ado, let's get into this video. All right, so in my opinion, the best bang for your buck, the best overall bait for quality and price point is gonna be the Lost Creek creature baits. I got these top two color choices for you guys. I got the green pumpkin. This one's for a little clearer waters. This one's literally just green with some black specks in it. And then we got the black and blue flake for some dirtier water here. So it all kind of depends what kind of water you're fishing for the color choice. Like I said, the green pumpkin's pretty good for clear waters, and I like to use the black and blue flake for murkier waters. Now, it doesn't have to be Lost Creek. This is just my, like I said, top bait for overall quality and price. But there's other ones. Every company makes creature baits, so there's definitely no shortage. You can go pick out, find your favorite. All right, so here's a little closer view of the creature bait itself. I really like this one, especially down here in Florida or if you're in a southern state that has lizards, because it's got kind of like a lizardy head and then arms, legs. So it's got these 4 arms / legs that look like a lizard, but then it's also got some claws in the back like a craw. So you can throw this thing around pretty much anywhere and it's gonna resemble something that a bass is gonna eat. All right, here's a little closer view of the black and blue flake too. As you can see, same exact thing, just gonna be different water clarities and stuff. Another thing I like about these Lost Creek ones in specific is that they are super oily and they got a pretty funky scent to them that the bass just absolutely love. All right, now I'm gonna show you guys how to rig one of these. There's a couple different ways you can do this. My personal favorite is actually gonna be probably pretty surprising to some of you. I like to use a weighted hook, specifically a twist lock hook. So I'm gonna show you guys one of those real quick. All right, you saw the hook itself, so now I'm gonna show you guys how to rig one of these creature baits with these hooks. All right, here's how you rig one of these guys. You're gonna take the very end of the spring and put it into the front of the creature bait. All right, and once you got it in there, you're literally just gonna start twisting the bait and it's gonna start feeding through this spring, as you can see. All right, as you can see, it is in there. You can pull on it and it doesn't come out. So you want the top of the bait where the eyes are to be flat with the spring. As you can see, I twist it. Both the bait and the spring are flat. So at this point, it should be free swinging on this spring. All right, once you got the head and the end of the spring flat with each other, you're gonna rig it just like you would a regular Texas rig. We're gonna take the bottom of the hook here and stick it into the middle of the bait, right around right here. Then you just wanna pull it through the middle and boom. This is definitely my favorite way to rig one of these, because as it's gonna be falling more flat than if you were to Texas rig it with a little bullet weight at the end. It's gonna be falling straight down. Now, sometimes it actually might be a better scenario to Texas rig it. Let's say you're trying to flip it onto a bed or something and make it look like you're trying to eat the eggs. That could be a really good scenario for a Texas rig.
You could also use it as a trailer on your jigs or chatterbaits.
Got the camera set up. Let's go fish with this thing. All right, so first thing you could do is I just saw a little ripple over there. I'm just gonna cast it right at the ripple and just let it sit there. I'm gonna let it sink all the way to the bottom. And this is a 10-foot area around here, so I usually typically wait around 10 seconds and I'll start jigging it. Let it sit for another 3 to 5 seconds. Start jigging it. So that's one method you could do. You could cast it, let it sink to the bottom, land the ground, start jigging it up, let it sink to the bottom again, jig it up. Now the sink and jig is my favorite for deep water.
But if we want to cast on a bank, get out as close as you can to the bank. Let it sink first. And then we're just going to start twitching it the whole way in. And that'll look pretty cool in the water, especially with these little arms. As I show you guys underwater, everything like kind of moves. So that twitching motion is going to make the claws and the arms move, and it's going to look real nice to those bass. Another thing you could do is cast along the bank, let it sink, and then you can literally just slowly reel it. And again, this is going to make those arms move. If the bass are really lethargic and it's super hot, they're really not looking for anything, they're just going to eat something that's just right in front of its face, this is a really good way to do that.
All right, guys, I don't know how well this camera captured. I'm trying to get some underwater shots right now. This bait is so good, like I told you, that as I'm trying to get underwater shots, 3 peacock start chasing it as it's right next to the boat. That's how good this bait is.
And another thing we could do is cast it parallel to the bank and use that same method we were using at first in the deeper water. Let it sink to the bottom and then jig it every time that it hits the bottom. I like to do this around grassy areas like this because you're kind of like hopping in and out of the grass. And we can even cast it on top of the grass that we see and just hop over the grass. Because this is a pretty weedless setup. So as you can see, just hopped right over the grass. And then a lot of times on that fall, something will be hiding under that grass. And on that fall, you'll get a bite. So to start out, I'm just going to throw it right in the middle of the 2 trees. Let it do some sinking. Give it a little tap. There we go. Right on the edge of the tree. There it is. Pops right out. And the cool thing, the best part about these spring locks is that you get to keep your bait after. So if you were to just throw it on like a regular Texas rig, like the alternative I showed you guys, 90% of the time that thing's going to go flying off. This spring lock holds it in place, and instead of it being off right now, as you can see, we still got it. We can fish it again. There we go. Stay down. Stay down. All right. Just a little guy, but does the trick. I'm gonna go over the fountain now. This is actually a really surprising good spot, especially for soft plastics like this. There we go. It's a better one. Whoa. Okay. That's a big fish.
Whoa. This is a big fish, guys.